Here we go. You're spinning.
Yes,
there we go.
We are live.
Hello, hello,
Hey.
hello, everybody. It is.
Hello.
Yes, live at 5 with Daria, Pat, and Tikeja. Daria, of course, is in the beautiful St. Thomas, and Pat is on a sabbatical. So it's going to be
St.
the
Martin.
two of us here today. What was that?
St. Martin.
Oh, St. Martin. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's okay.
That's what I always say. She's in the islands. And today we have the honor of having our special guest with us, Jake Kevorkian III, which is, of course, a dear friend of mine. And I have known Jake for 5 years now.
Wow.
I actually met Jake doing network marketing at a network marketing event where I found out that he was my upline. So that was pretty awesome. Jake's been an entrepreneur since he was 21, if you guys can believe that. He's been in the entrepreneurial space for 21 years.
Wow,
he has a
awesome.
Wonderful daughter, yes, named Morgan, and a son named Jake. Haven't met his son before, but I absolutely enjoy spending time with Jake and picking his brain. And you guys are going to have a absolutely phenomenal call today. So,
yes,
without further, you got something going on in the back, Daria. Without further ado,
I know.
Yes, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this interview today. And we just want to find out, Jake, can you go ahead and just share with our viewers when and why you decided to join the network marketing industry?
Well, I was actually 21 years old. It's been more than 21 years, but I was 21 when I found out about this incredible business that we all love so much. But my background, you know, growing up, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and always wanted more in life. I always wanted to do well and make money. And when I was 21 years old, I was dating my ex-wife at the time. And we had been dating for a couple of years, and I wasn't going to school and I wasn't working. I was just sort of like, you know, aimlessly wandering through life, not doing much. And she said to me one day, she said, if we're going to stay together, you need to either go back to school and get your degree and finish school, or go to work. And I was never a big fan of school. I hated school, so that wasn't an option for me. I wasn't going to go back to school. I spent 3 years in college and never finished, and it just wasn't for me. I mean, I'd like to educate myself and learn, but that environment was not for me. And so I decided to get a job, and I actually got a job at the newspaper, the Austin American-Statesman newspaper in Austin, Texas, through a friend of hers, got me this job. And was working there for 2 years. I ran a sales crew of people. We sold newspapers door to door. A lot of people watching this right now may not even know what a newspaper is anymore, because that's not how we get our news. But I sold newspapers door to door, and I had the top producing crew in the whole newspaper. And my boss quit, and when he quit, I just assumed that that would be my job, right? They would promote from within. I had the top producing sales. I'd been there the longest, and they passed me up and went outside of the newspaper, hired someone else, and then they asked me to train the person. And I said, you know, that's not my deal. And it was right at the exact same time that I met somebody, to answer your question, that told me about network marketing. He's to this day one of my closest friends. He has been. You know, we all have a lot of mentors in life that help us and we learn from and work with. He is my mentor, and he was doing very well at the time. He had everything that I wanted. And he said, look, if you have a willingness to work and a burning desire, you're coachable and teachable, I'll show you how to create wealth. And I believed him and I listened. I was 21 years old. I quit my job at the newspaper, and I haven't had a job since. And I've been involved in other ventures, but all these years, network marketing has always been my primary and main source of income. So it's been, well, I'm 54, so it's over 30 years now that I've been in this industry. And that's how it all started.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's amazing. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's actually phenomenal. So can you tell us about like your first year in network marketing? What were some of the challenges that you faced when you first started?
That's an interesting question, because it took me, what this individual's name's Wayne Holbrook. Wayne told me, he said, look, if you are coachable and teachable and you just won't quit, you will not fail. And he told me, he said, the only way you can fail in this business is quit. And again, I wanted this, and I believed him, and I bought into that story. And I worked really hard. I went to all the trainings. I did everything they told me to do. I was talking to people. I made my list. I did everything I was supposed to do. And it took me 6 months to enroll my very first rep, 6 months. And that rep quit. Okay, so 6 months it took me. I finally got my first distributor into this business. And he happened to be one of the top producers in the entire country in Cutco knives. So I was very excited about this new recruit and thought I was going to start having some success. And he immediately quit, but I kept going. And from that start, just to give you an idea, if you don't ever give up, anybody watching this that's in network marketing, if you're just getting started and you're struggling, 6 months to enroll my first rep quit. And then 3 years later, I was making over $30,000 a month. So I didn't get off to a fast start, but I was determined that I was going to keep hanging in there, and I was never going to quit, and I was going to figure it out.
And that's my next question. How did you overcome those challenges? That's the big question, right? Because it took him 6 months, guys, to get that first person. That person quit, and he didn't quit. He kept going.
Right. Well, okay. So there's several things that play into that. Number one, I wanted it really bad. Okay. That's the first thing. I wanted it really bad. It wasn't an option for me, but I also was blessed. I had a great upline. I had a great mentor. I had access to really good training, which some people, well, nowadays there's so much good training out there that doesn't matter what company you're with. If you want to learn and educate yourself, you can do it. But this was way before the internet. So I was fortunate that I had good training, good mentorship. And, you know, I was also blessed that, you know, my wife and I had a very young baby, like Morgan. You know, Morgan had just been born. And so I was fortunate that Nancy was able to at least produce some income that first year and a half or so. She was able to produce enough income that we were able to survive. So that was part of it. That was why I was able to work this, you know, on a full-time basis. But I think just having good training, good mentorship, and just this idea and belief, right? I mean, our beliefs and paradigms always guide our life. And I had this strong belief in my mind that what Wayne was telling me was true, which is if you don't quit, eventually you're going to find the people and you're going to be successful. So I think it's just like maybe a combination of those few things that allowed me to just keep going, even when I wasn't having success. It was that belief that that very next person I could talk to could change everything. And it ultimately always does if you don't quit.
That's right.
And that's
yeah, quitting is not an option.
No,
Absolutely.
not at all.
Right.
That's actually the only way, like we say, guys, it's the only way that you can guarantee that you won't succeed is to quit. Right? Quitting should not even be in your vocabulary. Right? It should not be.
Well, that is true, but you also have to add to it that you can't just be there and just show up and not do anything and not learn and talk to people. You have to be engaged. But if you're fully engaged and you're learning and you're showing up and you're doing what others that came before you did to create success, eventually it works for you. This is unlike a lot of different businesses. I mean, there's some things I could never go play in the NFL or in the NBA. I don't, no matter how hard I tried or how positive I was, I could never do that. But anybody that has a burning desire and a willingness to work and is coachable and teachable, anyone can ultimately succeed in this business.
Absolutely. You know, just like one of the comments says, my husband, he put, you have to want it. You know, nobody can't want it more than you. You know, you have to do what you need to do to get this done. So,
very true.
So it comes to my question. you know, what do you feel is the most effective way to build a network marketing business?
Well, okay, there's a lot of effective ways. And, you know, like I said, when I started, it was way before the internet was a thing. We didn't even have cell phones, if you can believe it or not. So it was truly 100% getting out and talking to people and meeting face to face. But nowadays, you know, people can build a business online. They can, you know, get a following through social media. All of that, I think, works and is important, but it's still, whether you're online or offline, there's still that connection and that relationship. And we still have to, you know, somebody told me one time, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got from an individual named Todd Smith. He's probably made $100 million in this industry in the last 40 years. Todd said, try to make a new friend every day. Okay. You can do that online or offline. And I think, you know, many times people have made the mistake of, they get so bought into their belief system and their paradigm that some people are like, you know, I'm not ever building online. It doesn't work. I'm going to build all offline. And then you've got some people that build very successful businesses online that don't ever want to talk to people face to face. And I think that, you know, I think that the best scenario is to do both and use all of the tools available to us, our personality in person, you know, social media. But again, when you're social media, you still got to connect with people and make friends and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of different ways to build. I'm not here to say that one's better than the other, because I have friends who've created, you know, multi-million-dollar paychecks and they don't ever talk to a person offline. And vice versa. I've got some friends who, you know, one of my very good friends who, again, he's in the top. He's probably in the top 2 or 3 all-time ever earners ever in network marketing. Okay, individual by the name of Jeff Roberti. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Jeff Roberti, but he's, you know, he's over in commissions with one company.
Wow.
Barely spends, yeah, and he doesn't spend any time on social media. You know, it's all been offline. So either one works if you work the system, if you're connecting with people.
Absolutely. And that's what we found when we interview people, that they all have a difference of opinion when it comes to how to build, where to build. And we just find it to be so fascinating how many different ways there are to be successful. Because a lot of times people believe there's only one way to be successful. You have to do it this way. This is the only way. And that's why we like to bring on different people to let you know you can come from all different walks of life, right? You can make different choices in life and still be in network marketing at some point in your life and be successful. Doesn't matter where you came from. It just matters that you have a burning desire to succeed.
Correct.
And I love it.
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree. And the common denominator of it all is that you have to be relational. You have to have conversations. You know, the conversation comes before the commissions, right?
Exactly. And you gotta, you know, people got to know that you care about more than just making money.
Yes.
I think so.
Right.
And I've built, you know, some amazing relationships over the years, and people that I don't even work with anymore that I've remained friends with for, you know, 30 plus years. And it's, I think, the best networkers and the top producers in this industry, whether it be online or offline, it doesn't matter. They have the ability and the genuine desire to connect and help people. And if you don't have that, it shows up and it becomes very apparent whether you're building online or offline. It doesn't matter. People, you know, see through that quickly.
Wow. Right. I understand. Yeah. So you've been in the industry, you said about 30 years, right?
32 or 33 years, 33 years.
Okay. So what if your friend did not, oh gosh, I know a truck is going by, but
there you go.
What if your friend did not introduce you to network marketing, what do you think you would be doing now?
I would be doing something on my own because I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. When I was in high school, I had a lawn service business.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And then when I was in college, I had a ticket sales business where I was selling tickets to sporting events and concerts and stuff. And I thought that would probably be the path that I would go down. In fact, my partner, when I was in college, good friend of mine, we started out in that business together. He now owns the largest ticket brokerage company in America called Ticket City. You guys may have heard of it. Based out of Austin, Texas. I mean, it's a huge worldwide business at this point. He's done very, very well. So probably I would have, gone down that path and stayed in the secondary market ticket sales is probably what I would have done.
Right. Better than someone passing you up.
Yeah, well,
you actually have to train.
Whatever I did, it would have been on my own. I have a feeling. I just don't know that I'd ever can work or would want to work for anybody else. So something on my own, whatever that might be.
Right.
Absolutely.
Got it. So Jake, what was one of your most memorable moments in building a business?
My most memorable moment would probably be
memorable moment. Yeah.
My most memorable moment would probably be when I started in network marketing. I can remember that I felt like that if I could just get to $10,000 a month in income, that's all. I mean, I would be the wealthiest person in the world, right? I mean, at the time, that's all I could see was that was the pinnacle of success was $10,000 a month. And again, back then we didn't have the internet, so I could not log on to the internet and see my back office like we do today. That didn't exist. When you had to pick up the phone and call customer service. It was very customer service driven. And I remember like when the month would close out, it would take another week or so before we actually got our check in the mail. And so I would call at the end of the month because I couldn't log online. I would call to get my volume and see how much money I made for the month. And it was I remember this call exactly where I was and what I was doing, like vividly, like it was yesterday. And I called in to check my volume at the end of the month. And this was the very first time I'd hit 10,000. And I thought maybe I was close if I got lucky. And it turned out that my check at that month had been over $11,000. And when she told me that, it was the first time that I hit that $10,000 goal. That was that's got to be up there with one of the most memorable moments of my life.
Yeah. I could imagine.
And you know what? There's been some disappointments too. There's been some big disappointments that I remember too. But I try to focus on the things that were more positive. But
things
that didn't work out so well either over the years that I somehow is stuck in my brain.
Yeah, absolutely. Network marketing definitely affords you an amazing journey. A lot of peaks and valleys.
Right.
But we all are still here.
Yeah, you definitely have to have tough skin.
No doubt. You got to have tough skin. And my good friend, I know you guys follow him too, Ray Higdon, I like the way he puts it better than anybody else. As he said, you need to fall in love with the process. Not the result. And I think that, my son is a professional golfer and he's got a swing coach and he's got a sports psychologist that he works with. And the sports psychologist has constantly telling him, you have to be totally committed and fall in love with the process and not the result, because that's really all we control. Even the greatest golfers in the world, it's still a physical activity and you have to swing the club and hit the ball. And it is not you're not a robot, you're a human. So it's not going to be the same every single time. But what can be the same and what can be consistent is the process of, in the journey. So I think that, you know, that's a great piece of advice for people to fall in love with the process and commit to the process and not worry so much about the result. And that's what I did the first 6 months when I had no success. I just kept focused on the process.
Absolutely, because business is structured. So absolutely, structure it the right way, you will succeed.
Exactly, wonderful. Exactly.
That's right. Eventually you will.
So guys, you see that Jake is dropping some nuggets here. I hope you guys see that you have to fall in love with the process. If you are getting value, put value in the chat. Just let us know that Jake is bringing it and that you are feeling it. Give him some love. Let's see some hearts. I see great advice. You have some nice comments here. You have great advice. I see some people saying, hey, follow the process. Yes, never give up. Yes, if you want it. Plugged in, not quitting.
Absolutely.
Yes, Jake, they love you.
Yes. Hey, Renee. Hello, Liza, Tamika, Willie. Welcome, guys. Kim, Dan, we see you guys. Hello.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for coming, showing up every week.
We appreciate
All right, Jake. After this truck goes by. Okay. So Jake, this is our last question.
Okay.
So really think about this. So let's say you lost everything today.
Right.
You had to start over with a list. You just had your phone. And now today you do have a computer.
Right.
And you have 30 days to show some type of success. What would you do in your business again?
I would take my business opportunity and my product, and I would put it in front of every single person I possibly could and not worry about if they were interested or not interested. I would just put it in front of them, not worrying about what they thought. And I would do it offline and online both as fast as I possibly could.
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? That seems to be the common theme, right? Action takers are money makers. Common theme.
Easy to do and easy not to do, both, right?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Sounds like relaunched material to me.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Sounds like relaunched material.
Yeah. And we should have a discussion. We've talked about a lot of fun things today and a lot of success and whatever. We should have a conversation one day about some of the struggles and adversity and, you know, reinventing and all that stuff, because it's a reality. I mean, we have a tendency to focus on all the great things, but there's, you know, if you're going to be in this business, there are always challenges. And again, you just have to accept that and stay committed to your process and what your vision is. So that's a whole nother conversation.
That's another conversation.
And it is. Right. And we, you know, sometimes people do need to hear those things. So I absolutely love it. Because, you know, we tell people all the time, everything's not rain and everything's not sunshine. So I absolutely love it. Yes, Renee, lots of eyeballs.
Exactly. Yes.
Please do it. Okay, Willie. We see you, Willie. We'll do a call on that. We have somebody asking. Yeah, we'll call on that.
Oh, absolutely. Wonderful. But the main thing is you want to get as many eyeballs on your opportunity as possible, and don't overthink it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about just the process.
Yes. And so right now we're just going to give you guys, it is 5:29 right now. So with your permission, we'll go on another 5 minutes and let you guys ask Jake some questions. Do you guys have any questions for Jake? He's been in the industry a long time. I'm pretty sure he can answer pretty much anything you could ask. I'm like, not to put you on the spot like that, Jake, but listen, I've had to call Jake. So I'm like, listen, you can call on Jake. Jake is like, yes, I can answer. So
I can answer everything.
Oh, yeah. And like I tell you guys, you know, if you're sending people messages, the more you do it, the more experience you'll have. So when people ask you the same question over and over again, it pops out right there. The answer just pops out.
Yeah. It's like you get it. Something clicks in your mind and you get it.
Absolutely. And then Daria, we checked the chats, the Facebook Live, and I'm gonna check this chat.
All right, just to make sure we didn't miss anybody. I'm looking here. I don't see anything right now.
Awesome.
I think we're good.
So that means
we're good.
That means you guys have gotten lots of value from this call. Oh, here we go. We have a question.
Oh, here's a question.
Yep. How do you spot the people who want to build in your business, or do you wait for them to come to you?
How do you spot the people that want to build?
That's the question.
Well,
yes.
Okay, so I don't think you can spot the people that want to build, and that's why. And you know, this is a big point right here about prejudging people. So you can't prejudge anybody, because so many times there have been people that I thought there's no way they would want to build a business that showed up and build a business. And other times there's people that I thought this would be absolutely perfect for, and surely they would want to build a successful business and could, and they never did anything. So I think you have to take your product and your business opportunity and just present it to everyone, and not try to figure out who's going to do it and who's not going to do it, because you're seldom going to be right. So I would try to not spot that person and just take it to everyone and let them decide if it's for them or not.
Absolutely. Because ultimately they do make the decision. So I guess like you were saying, Willie, you know, you're going to have to find your aces. And, you know, just like the exercises that we do, the people will show themselves, right? Just have to watch. People will show themselves. You'll see who's going to show up and run, and you'll see who's going to always have an excuse, right? So you'll be able to definitely see the movers and shakers. That's a great question. Thank you.
Absolutely. It was.
Tamika,
the longer you stay in the industry. Oh, go ahead. No, I was saying the longer you stay in the industry, you're going to experience that. I don't know how many times I experienced that, where I prejudged someone, but then I told myself, no, I'm going to show it to them anyway. And they ended up joining. The last person, you know, so if you take the emotion out of it and just do it.
Right.
You know, you'll have more success. You'll be able to find your aces quicker.
Absolutely. So it's the same thing. Yep. It's exactly what we say every week. The more you think, the less you do. The less you do, the more you think. Get out of your head and get into the action, right?
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, you like that, right?
Right?
Yeah. True. It's true. It's so true.
Yeah, you have to watch those thoughts sometimes. Like, oh, you're welcome, Willie. Does anybody else have a question?
Well, there's not a question, but it's a statement. Tamika said, I've learned never to lowball your opportunity. If value not seen, move on. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't have time to be convincing anybody.
Hey, listen, Jesus didn't beg anybody, did he?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
You gotta find the people that resonate with your message, and not everybody does. Not everybody wants this. So that's a very, very, whoever said that is very wise. That's a very wise way of looking at it.
You know, if you have to convince them to join, you have to convince them to stay. Remember that. You always be in the convincing. We don't want to be convincing people, right? Like, that's not what we're here for.
No, that's
be
too much work.
Spontaneous. Liza says, be spontaneous. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Absolutely. So if nobody else has any more questions, we're going to go ahead and end this live. All right. Seems like there's no more questions. We appreciate you guys joining us for this and every live. Thank you so much to our special guest, Jake Kevorkian III. You were phenomenal. And guys, we'll see you. You're welcome. Guys, we're going to see you next Tuesday, live at 5, right here. Same
right
place.
here, same time, same day, that channel. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.